Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party. Oh, my camera. No camera. Let's see. There we go. See if we can clean that thing off. I noticed it's been blurry the last few days. Oh, my goodness. All right. So we have come across this just fantastic pattern. And it's just like anytime I run across a fantastic pattern like this, I always go through a 24-hour, 48-hour just where I'm thinking about it and stuff like that. And it's like trying to figure out like why would I not know this pattern already? And what is this even doing? I don't even know this type of export at type of like that is bizarre. It's kind of like, and I think when we did the playground yesterday, the TypeScript playground, we actually tried this and it was like just deleted that because that's gibberish. But so it doesn't quite make total sense to me. The thing that really doesn't make sense to me is why this is number here. Like most of this makes sense to me, even though it's just like like something that doesn't even make JavaScript. But okay, so why hasn't this become like a huge standard that like everybody does? Because it's just so brilliant and so useful. And I bet you this leads to a serious problem. And that serious problem is that this is compile time. And so the idea is that we're going to have like this data entities, right? And then we're going to have this drop down, and then this drop down will be driven by this list. It's beautiful. It works perfectly. But honestly, especially if you're working like in a like sort of advanced environment, an enterprise environment, or advanced call it academic environment, something like that, you will typically want to drive these sorts of things from a database. And so getting the information from the database does that there really is no capacity for that as far as I know during compile time. There's no or transpile time where it can build time where it builds this out where it goes, hey, let me go to the database and determine. And even at that point, if someone were to, even if you could do that, like, and it's, I think very technically feasible, but even if you could build it out to go to the database and create this list of constants, if somebody after you build adds a new item to the database, that's not going to get reflected here. You have to rebuild. Um, so like, I would think that this is such a brilliant solution for my specific situation where I'm not trying to drive anything via data from an API or from a database at all. Um, it's a perfect it's perfect for like a very complex application that, has a lot of moving parts. So you sort of forced to do a lot of abstractions just so that it's you know, um, you could so that it's reasonable so you can reason about it. You have to do a lot of abstractions. And so like that's a certain size, but it's very rare that an application gets to that level of complexity, but that doesn't need runtime live data from somewhere, right? It's a very narrow set of most applications just don't need these interfaces and stuff like that because they're just not big enough. And then most of the vast majority of applications that do get big enough are too big for this application because they need runtime actual build data. So this is a really good idea, and I could actually fully imagine the idea that someone may I touched my USB port. Now it's making weird noises. I could see, oh, and I've lost use of my mouse, and now it's back. Um, but so anyways, yeah. So runtime data from a database, this would not be useful for, and this is maybe over engineering for most projects that aren't this big. So it's just like it, it's a great solution not a great solution for um, reality and for real most the vast majority of real applications. Also, this could really put you in a bad spot with like so let's say you do get this working and then someone says, "Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to add API. We want these to come from an API instead." Um, this whole thing has to be refactored if you were to decide to go down that route, which, like that's a lot. That's a lot. So anyways, so that's where we're at right now. Let's see, it's 8:46, so I only have a few minutes. Yesterday was the first working day of daylight savings. It was hard to go to sleep last night. For some reason, it wasn't that hard to go to sleep on Sunday night for yesterday. So I was fairly well rested, but last night, oh, I was tossing and turning all night long, all night long. All right. So, anyways, so this works. I like this, and the reason I like it is because now I can get my ST types into for this dropdown. So I guess that's the next step is to get ST types for my dropdown. Um, this is kind of I don't know. I'm starting to be a little nervous by like the number of changes for a single commit, um, but it seems reasonable. Um, all right. So current route service. So what I'm trying to do now is basically just populate this dropdown. I guess I do this in app layout data component. So we'll go there, and then go here, data layout component. So I guess the idea is we're going to import it. So I don't know. Okay. So when you use a constant like that, I guess you probably have to say you probably have to assign it to a variable, which feels a little weird to me. I guess you could also like create an instance maybe of this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is interesting. This is very mentally like it's like kind of from a practical perspective, probably pretty straightforward, but okay, so we're gonna call this uh, entities drop down data. Entities drop down data, which is of type. I don't even know what type it is. That's weird. I'm just gonna, yeah, this is interesting. So was it base dictionaries? Let's go back again. Let's go back again because we were looking at it. I guess. Is it? So this is exporting something called ST types. So it's not of type. Oh, okay. So it's an array of ST types, I think. Oh yeah, and that's exactly what this is an array of ST types. Oh man, that is really mentally bizarre. My brain is just like spinning. So S ST types array is equal to. And now, can I import this? It did have a little blue one for me. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's saying that is that any So this is weird to me. Okay. So this is a read-only, and it's an array of import st types. Is it like this? St. Yeah. Okay, I don't even know how to do this. It will work. Nope, it won't even say that it's an array, even though that's what it is. Is read-only copy assigned to a mutable type? Oh, okay. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so it is bizarre that I can do this, and it's okay with that. But it looks like maybe I need to add a const in front of there. All right, so I think that was the last thing I talked to ChatGPT about yesterday. Uh, let's see. Come on. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did talk about that yesterday. Or I did ask about this place that you could play Wheel of Fortune. My wife loves Wheel of Fortune, and I heard that was really cool. Okay, so okay. So now I am trying to use a new st underscore types constant in my TS like this. But the IDE is complaining about the typing. Okay, what is the solution? Okay. Fascinating. So you use the spread operator. I mean, this is all a little wonky or wacky. Um, but so that's one way. Okay, I could also type it as read only. Okay, so that is actually what I'd rather do. So apparently you have to do, I feel like this is less. I thought this was a little wacky because you're like kind of making your own local instance of the same thing. So like if you decide to tweak one of the values, I just don't even know. Like it feels like this is probably the beginning of a lot of tiers as things just naturally change. Like let's say those become objects and then you decide to, oh, okay, we just want to do a small tweak, then you can end up tweaking it everywhere. It's just calling this read only, I think is a great idea. Yeah, see, I don't want to just reference it directly, um, mostly because I just don't want, um, I feel like this actually is if I'm sitting down and I'm trying to come up to speed, this is going to be the easiest one for me to come up to speed on. And I guess I never really thought about that before, but that is a huge benefit. Number two, the best, because it seems is the most reasonable, the easiest to easy. How? What? What am I doing wrong? Oh, I missed the S. Okay. Easiest to reason about. Let's just see if it gives me an argument to that. But yeah, I think it's that. I don't think this is cleaner. Um, I think oh, best for me because be the easiest to reason about when I'm coding in future on this TS file. See what it says about that. So read only is easiest to reason about long term, especially when you come back to the code months later. Yeah. See, I do think that that is true. Now, I do want to make clear that if you go down this path and then somebody says, "Oh, you know what? We should maintain that in a database and get it through like a it doesn't even matter how you're going to get it. If you're just going to maintain it in a database, um, then this won't work at all. I don't think this works. I mean, I know I've seen some places where they will go in the database and then like um, when you go to compile, you have to run some program like on the back end, and then the back end generates these types for you and all that, and that is really cool, but it still doesn't solve the problem because in runtime, if you change the list, it's not going to you all that strong typing just goes out the window. And so anyways, so in our constructor, we're just going to say console.log, I gotta go. And then it's this dot entities data, entities drop down data. So what we want to do is just see if we get it. Just double check. Nope. Oh, wait. What? It's weird. Oh, there it was. It was up at the top. There we go. So I think that works. I don't know. It's like it's so wild. It's an array. Yeah, it's just an array of them. So, anyways, everybody happy coding. Have a wonderful day. Bye.